So Joan, what is the secret of a long life? I mean, I speak to somebody who's a mere 95.
Well, I can only give you my experience without being too sloppy about things. But it's the love of God. Love of God was within my heart when I was a child. I loved all the lovely things the disciples did, and I followed their, shall we say, movements through Bible and whatever, but it never left me because I was deeply in love with God itself when I was a 11-year-old, 12-year-old. It never left me, and it's still with me now today, only in a more of a passionate feeling, because I know now what I never knew then as a child, and I've gained wisdom through the years, and because I do know, it's made me very happy, and it's made me feel that I can go on now to another level.
But you're not really talking about religion. I think you're talking...
No, not at all.
No.
Oh no, religion doesn't come into it, because remember, in religion, your heart is still your heart, whichever or whatever you do, because God is always there. It doesn't matter who you worship, and if it helps you, yes, but it's what comes from the heart. That's what matters. And I find that it's always been with me, actually. It's always been with me, and it's helped a great deal, because I used to pray, and also I believed in the angels later on, not first. Then I realized, a friend said to me, Joan, do you believe in the angels? I said, well, I don't know much about them. And then she told me, well, why don't you try and ask them for help? And I said, all right, we'll do that, which I did. And I asked Angel Raphael if I was feeling a bit low, if he would lift this from me and all this business. And then later on, I found, yeah, I don't feel so bad. I feel I can cope with life. And that's all you want, to cope, you see.
And you ask
Yes.
the angels to help you, and that help is available to everybody.
Oh yes, everybody, everybody. And I feel sad when I know people don't know about them, because, oh, I can't tell you the help. Raphael would be for healing, and the Archangel Michael is to smooth your path for you. And he has smoothed my path many a time. And that's why I can speak with conviction, because I have experienced it. If you haven't experienced it, you can't say to them is that you've got to think about the angels, just think about it, and just experiment, just try. And they do. I said, that doesn't matter, it doesn't matter if you don't do it at all, but have a go, see how you feel. And that's how I started, you see, to sprinkle it around a bit. Well, to those that come to me, you don't need sprinkling, do you? And where you do not know the help that there is in spirit, and help there is so much help. And if people realize that here on earth, God has sent all these wonderful angels down to us, and we have to acknowledge them, and they want to help each one with their pain. And not that they will take the pain away, but they will alleviate a lot of the pressure, enabling you to be able to go through the day with the pain. And that is what they do, not to take it away, because if it is given for a purpose, for a lesson, then they can't interfere, but they will help to alleviate the excruciating moments that you can have during that day.
You know, we always talk about pain as being a teacher, that pain
Yes.
teaches you something.
Yes.
But does pleasure also teach you something?
Yes. Pleasure, when you are happy, happiness is always the doorway to the inner soul and also to the heart within you. When you're happy, you spread out your wings spiritually, sending out light all over the place, because happiness is really and truly what you should definitely experience. You were not meant to be miserable. God did not meant to have miserable children, but he gave us free will, and our free will tell us what kind of a day we're going to have. We're either going to be a miserable person and make everybody else miserable, or we're going to collect our, shall we say, spiritual feelings together and say, no, I'm in God's light, I'm in the light of the angels, and this will be a good day because they're going to help me to have a good day.
You always come back to the point of the positive mind.
Definitely, yes. I know, bring the angels into it, but remember that they can't do anything if mentally, in thought, you're always miserable and you're just saying to yourself, instead of being positive, you would have a negative condition saying, oh my God, what's going to happen to me now? And your mind will envisage something dreadful that will happen. And that's what you call the lower energies getting at you. So you've got to raise yourself from the lower energy to the higher one, which is, of course, positive mind. And in positive mind, it means you could be helped in many ways. And also your day could be made much more lighter, much more happier, because you are positive that all will be well. And you've got to have that inner strength to keep on telling you that. And then eventually you'll find your body takes over anyway, because of the constant energy that you send out by being positive. It flows into the body and helps the cells of the body because you are very, very positive.
You know, Joan, people in their lives are unsettled because they don't really know the difference between the body and the soul.
Well, I would say the relationship from the body and the soul is that the experiences that the body goes through, there are so many times that the soul itself takes the body to these different experiences, because even the soul needs the experience, because the soul also is drawn towards the upper light, can't reach that level until the body starts thinking their way, the soul's way. And if they go through experiences, then the soul again takes on the experience and the energy that the body throws out. The soul is always wanting experience. And they also put the, shall we say, the person into certain aspects in their life where they have to go through certain lessons. But these lessons are important to the soul, and that is where the connection is. The connection is the soul is dependent on the attitude on the body.
A negative frame of mind or negative behavior also taints the soul.
Oh yes, of course, very much so. A negative behavior affects the soul very much. It saddens the soul because they're waiting, they're standing waiting for the person to change around so the soul can go up. The soul wants, that's where the soul wants to be, but can't unless the human body and mind goes round towards what they want, and that is being positive, positive about their body, positive about their friendships even, also to develop a tolerance to their friends and to realize that maybe their friends don't mean it or their friends don't know about it, but tolerance has got to be a big part in one's life to be able, for the soul to be able to go on. The soul's waiting to go up.
Perhaps you also mean to forgive and forget.
Ah, yes, precisely, thank you. That's a very wonderful thing, that, forgive and to forget. And that is where the love of God comes into your heart, and the compassion, because you think, my friend didn't mean that. And give her that, shall we say, forgiveness. One has to learn and be aware that they're selfish. And because they're selfish, it means whatever happens, it's what's going to happen to me. This, unfortunately, is a very low energy, and some people cannot throw it off because it's a part of their life, put it that way.
Character.
Yes. So these people, you can only send loving thoughts to them and ask for them to be led eventually to the right path. And that's what one can do. But you cannot change a person if the energy, low energy, is so much part of themselves. They've got to wait now for their own lovely guides around them to change their way of life and change their minds. But it may take a long time because low energy hangs on, won't let go. So the one has to have a big experience to shake them, for them to stand still. And then they would start to pray. And once they do that, they're on the road upward. But it's got to be a real shattering experience for them to turn round and think, oh, God, help me. And you started. So many people cannot do that, so they've got to wait for this shattering appearance. And then all of a sudden they just say, God help me. Once they've gone to that point, they're on their way.
People often worry about, have the fear of dying.
Oh, yes.
And that colors and taints their life and their behavior.
Well, I can say this to people, and I would say that they have no idea while they're on earth that everything they do is all registered in the soul, but the soul is always ready to take you up into a higher level of thinking. Not only that, but what is a fear of dying? What is it? All right, some people, they close their eyes and they say, that's it, no more. But you know, you're in for a big surprise if you think that way. Because when this does happen, you will find that the soul indeed will let you know that you're in another place and another level. And also, you're able then to look back into your earth life. And then whatever you see that you've done wrong, you would have a chance then to put it right. Because you're on another level, and therefore your mind is on another level. And you are then, shall we say, experiencing a drawing light that's within you, and it's drawing you out and upwards to another level, so you're able then to see your faults and what you did, and you want to make amends, you want to make things right. Some people can do this in spirit, but otherwise some people can come back and they can do it on a, shall we say, another level. And this is how it happens, and this is what is. But the soul is always wanting to go up, because the light that they feel on the astral level is so drawing, warm, and so wonderful, that they want to go there, they want to be there, but they also know that that is waiting for them, but not until they, what I call, amended the faults of the earth.
But that could take a long, long, long time. Are you saying then that the soul makes many journeys to correct itself?
Yes, yes.
On this plane or there are other planes?
Yes. But the soul also finds that they want to leave what you call what was wrong. They want to put it right, because they can't go on to different souls, different levels, with this burden of they haven't completely cleared it. They got to clear it before they can go on. So they may stand still and then try, as in the astral world, to try and make things right. And then when they do, they can then go on. But until that happens, they're stuck. They've got to put it right.
And when you say move on, is there a final destination?
No. There is no final. Eternity goes on forever and ever until you reach what I call the, there's a word, a beautiful word, and I can't think of it, but you reach this moment of revelation, of knowingness, and the knowledge that you've had from all your soul's experiences all in one. And it is glorified by the light that is standing before you. And it is the light that draws you towards it. And you feel so uplifted and so wonderful in yourself. And therefore you find that as you go back in the mind now to what you've done, you can't go any further than that level. You've got to go back now to see if you can indeed put something right that was wrong.
But is there a final oneness that one reaches?
Well, the final oneness is the great kernel of love. And love in its beauty and its entirety is so wonderful and awe-inspiring. But you can't reach that high, wonderful level until, again I say, you put things right on earth.